Yeah, I'm dressed about as seriously for this film as this film is meant to be taken, I guess. I don't know.
This house is dripping with souls, but there's always room for one more.
My friend was...
And today we have The Haunted Mansion. A Haunted Mansion? Haunted Mansion? Is it just Haunted Mansion? Haunted Mansion. Yeah, Haunted Mansion. This was over 2 hours. I got questions here. I mean, look, we have Muppets, so Disney clearly, and there's tropical vibes, sure. But then, like, there's, I think over there, where is he? He's holding a gift here. So then you're like, okay, is it tropical Christmas? This was a gift for me at Christmas time, so I don't know. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, as Disney is wont to do. What do we have this time around? Is it an original IP? No. Is it a live-action remake of a pre-existing IP? Kind of. Also, it's a remake of an IP that basically exists, like an original IP, right? No. Are you telling me this film is a remake of a film based off of a ride at a Disney World park? Yes. I mean, it happened with Tower of Terror, right? I'm sure it'll happen with the damn teacups at some point. Disney's like, man, should we pay artists to make more original content? Nah, you know what we need to do? We already made a movie that's based loosely off of experiences / rides at our park, so I think it's about, what is it, 10 years at least have gone by, I think? Oh no, 20 years have gone by since Disney's original Haunted Mansion. Okay, at least they waited longer than they're waiting for Moana, right? So 20 years later, they're like, you know what we should do? We should remake Haunted Mansion. And even better, you know when we should put it out? Oh, Halloween? Spooky month? No. Oh, when do you want to do it? Summer 2023. Wait, you mean the same summer that Oppenheimer and Barbie are coming out? Yes. Well, Disney, why would you do that? We love making terrible decisions. Haunted Mansion remake is directed by Justin Simien. There he is right there. What has this man done before? Funny enough, comedy / drama pieces that are commentaries on and the Black experience in our current society. He directed a lot of episodes of Dear White People, which I saw the first season of and thought was pretty good, but it wasn't gripping enough for me to finish the series, so perhaps someday I shall return to that show. Also did a movie called Bad Hair that's like an unrated film on Hulu that's a horror film about a gal back in I think the 80s who gets like extensions, but then they have a mind of their own and I think start killing people. This director hasn't done much else. Technically, it's his second film. Like the cast, I mean, it's an ensemble cast, and there's way too many people to get into each and every person's filmography. But what's cool about this cast is that I like them all. I think me and my friends who went to go see this, we weren't seeing this because it was Disney or Haunted Mansion, but because of who was involved. I mean, I'll put up a group photo here if I can, or I'll figure out a way to do it. But yeah, one of my personal favorites, I love Lakeith Stanfield. I think he's an incredible actor. He's been in such a large variety of roles. It's always great to see what he does next. Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, the trash man himself, Danny DeVito, Rosario Dawson. I do want to give little quick shout outs to a few of my little favorite gems though. It's great seeing Jamie Lee Curtis once again, the Madame and the Crystal Ball. Chase Dillon is the kid. He was great. I think my favorite line of his is still the one from the trailer. Mom's like, oh, we put a vanilla candle in here, it's gonna be a game changer. And he's just like,
will it though?
This last one was impressive. Just want to give a quick little cute shout out, but I will say this is the most accurate depiction of Jared Leto I've ever seen on screen. This is so impressive. No, I think from what I heard, like no makeup, no practical effects. They just like started filming. He just showed up to set like this, and you know what? Good for him for being able to shed that, the allure and the skin of his most famous character, Morbius. I'm just so glad that he's finally able to get past the critical acclaim that he drew from that role. I know stardom can be tough to kind of, to put that ego aside, and at such a big role like that, and to be able to go into this film looking most genuinely like himself. It was really, it brings a tear to the eye, honestly. Haunted Mansion. I mean, trailers are it's exactly what you're gonna get. I mean, I'll make this quick and brief. Pros: it has cute moments, it has some kind of spooky moments. It's cute and spooky. There's some practicality to it, but it's going to be a lot of CGI, spooky ghosts and all that, but nothing too scary because we got to market it to kids, you know? Plus, it's PG, isn't it? Yeah, it's PG. So, as I said before, we came for the actors. That's why we were there. Although the film itself is lacking in a variety of ways, each and every one of the actors, it looks like, at least, as far as I'm aware, they all had fun making this film. They're all actors that we like. Maybe put Morbius aside there. We all like all the main cast for one reason or another. And seeing them really bring their, like, even for what the film was, they are all so talented and so good in their own right that they all shine through and almost past the script. They carry this movie on their backs. They're the reason you would go see it. They're entertaining, they're funny, they're endearing, they're good actors. And because they're good actors, they make for an enjoyable experience. Credit where credit is due, there are some heartfelt moments, albeit they have their own pitfalls as well. But if you look past the pitfalls in the pro category that we're on right now, this film does have nice moments. Some moments, I think one moment I got a little bit misty-eyed in, again, because Lakeith Stanfield is such a powerhouse of an actor. They try to inject some heart and some soul into this film, oftentimes not necessarily succeeding, but for the most part, the effort's there and the actors helped. Overall, the set design, whenever there actually is set, I mean, it never looked fake to me. I don't know, like, it was nice. I mean, the mansion itself, the grand foyer, you know, whether it's dimly lit rooms or cobwebs, or for the most part, the set design, you know, it's not immaculate, but it was enough where I believed we were in a haunted mansion. For the most part, there was some care and love put into these places, and even in what the characters were wearing. The costume design was, for each character, it was varied a little bit and kind of interesting, and had like a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new. I don't know, the kid was always smartly dressed, like Keith, you know, between like tank tops at night or open shirt down to the like tum-tum or the necklace. I don't know, the set design and even the costuming, it had its moments where I was like, okay, that looks kind of cool. The cons of this film, as I said, the release window, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I guess they were thinking summer blockbuster, we won't put it out the exact same weekend as Barbie and Oppenheimer, we'll give it a week or two. But even then, dumb move. Just wait till Halloween. You know, I know Five Nights at Freddy's is coming out and all the kids are going to be all over that one, but like, at the very least, you could have, you know, do Haunted Mansion, you know, at the start of the month before Freddy's or whenever. I don't know. In true Disney fashion, the amount of sponsors and product placement in this film, it's not overwhelming, but oh my god, like the way they just ham-handedly fisted into the script. These poor actors. Something as simple as candles for a seance, and it's a Yankee candle. The sidekick is like, oh, well, you know me, I forgot to cancel my Prime subscription. And I'm like, oh my god, shut up. Even something as simple as like getting tools for a prep session, and she's like, well, I got this notepad and this pen from CVS down the road, and we're like, what? You have more subtle stuff, right? Like in action movies or spy movies, even like James Bond especially, one of the big things you might notice is that whether it's the suits they're wearing, but especially the watches, like they'll be wearing, Daniel Craig rocked some amazing timepieces. It's oftentimes more subtle stuff where you can see what they're wearing, and if you look closely, you'll notice the brand, but it's not like, all right, Q, what do you have for me? Oh, well, I'll have this Omega watch for you, son. Well, maybe the older James Bond was like, here's a Timex or whatever. There's a documentary that came out a while back, and it's by the same guy who did Super Size Me. It's called The Greatest Movie Ever Sold. It's 100% worth a watch. I'd give it a watch. The whole movie is about product placement, marketing, and advertising, and the whole film is paid for and sponsored by product placement, marketing, and advertising. And then he also goes over how in TV and movies, sponsors can be either subtle or they can be painfully obvious. But the last note I had was it's cheesy and not scary, which I mean, obviously if you're a kid, it could be different. And again, like horror and fear, similar to comedy, they're subjective. You know, things can be objectively scary, things can be objectively funny. Especially for this highly desensitized generation of kids, it's difficult to creep people out these days. And sure, if I were younger, this film might have creeped me out, but I think it was more comedy and less scares. Granted, it's been, well, honestly, probably 20 years since I've seen the original Haunted Mansion. I have the DVD. No, I have the VHS somewhere. Oh my god. And I remember, liking the movie when I was a kid, and I think it creeped me out. I think the original Haunted Mansion is scarier than this one. I think it might even be funnier. I don't recall. It's been too long. But for all intents and purposes, this Haunted Mansion is just silly. It's very slapsticky, very zany, people flying around. Nobody I ever thought was in genuine peril, just like fun little goofy stunts. I will say, and our whole fan group made fun of the movie for this after the fact, it is very funny whenever there's a chase sequence, and especially if like Keith is running around, or if the characters are being chased through the halls of this haunted mansion. They run like cartoon characters. Their limbs are like noodles, and they're like, whoa, like they're very cartoonish, very animated. I'm sure everybody got a good workout in for this film. That was entertaining for me. The rating for this film, I mean, oh boy, what do you even give it? Haunted Mansion, I'll give it a 3 out of 5, and I'm feeling very generous today. 3 out of 5, it is average. There are aspects to this film that were fun to watch, that are cool. There were genuinely moments that did make me laugh. Again, it's all because of the actors. You want to go to see them. That's what makes this film not a below average film. But, I mean, yeah, it's not a great film. Don't need to see it in theaters, but it is just entertaining enough where I would say, you know what? Stream it at home. Fun little streaming family movie night, maybe. There are some heartfelt moments, especially. Funny enough, if you have struggled with loss of loved ones, or if you struggle with suicide, like suicidal ideation, they do touch on that a little bit, surprisingly. It's not taken super seriously, but there are moments where it touches on that, adds to the heartfelt nature of the movie. I did enjoy it, and it did connect and resonate with me a little bit. So Disney's made better. Hopefully Disney will make better again, but who knows. That's all I gotta say about Haunted Mansion. Thank you guys and gals so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of whatever movie I review. And goodbye, travelers.